Hi everyone, I have a reformer workout for you today using TheraBands. So go ahead, grab some TheraBands. I have 3 sets of weights for TheraBands, or 3 sets of resistance, I guess. So I have a light, a medium, and a heavy. I'm gonna start with the heavier TheraBand right around my legs, above my knees. These are my new Bala TheraBands. They're gonna be a little different than your traditional resistance bands. First time trying them out, so we'll see how they go. We're gonna start with our foot bars all the way up, and then we're gonna begin with footwork springs on today. And I am just gonna go with 3 heavy springs on my reformer, which are 3 reds on my balanced body. Up to you what you choose to do for your springs. We're gonna do single leg work with the TheraBands around our legs today. So it'll create a little extra work for our quads. You can go lighter, you can go heavier. It is up to you. Again, I'm doing 3 heavy springs or 3 red springs on my reformer. Headrest can be up or down to start. That is up to you. And we're gonna go ahead and lie down to begin. So when we get down, we're gonna start with our heels on the foot bar, about sit bone distance away, so about that fist distance away from each other. And then my knees are going to be about a fist distance away too, so just watching that the band isn't pulling my knees together. Again, headrest up or down, up to you. And then we're all going to begin in our neutral spine, so we should have that nice natural curvature of our low backs. Now, from here, the right heel is going to stay on the foot bar. Left knee is going to go up into a tabletop position. We're going to think our pelvis stays nice and still. And on an exhale, we're going to push our carriages out with our right legs. Left knee stays bent at that 90-degree angle. And then we're going to let the spring just kind of bring us back in today. So we're going to exhale, push away today. And then inhaling as we come back in. I want to think neutral spine the entire time. And then I'm focusing on my left knee staying at that 90-degree angle the entire time, so the band does not pull the knee away from my body. Again, it's an exhale to push out, inhale to bend to come back in. Feel your right glute and hamstring really working here. Exhale, push, inhale back. We're gonna go for 3, 2, and then last one. Now, once we come back in, we're gonna pause in. Left knee stays in our tabletop position. Arch of our right foot goes onto the foot bar. And then let's go ahead. Again, we'll exhale to push out. Inhale back in. Exhale away. Inhale, resist back in. Same thing. Left knee just stays in that tabletop position. Pelvis is staying nice and still. My sacrum stays heavy. I am really feeling the back of my right leg again and my glute working as I push out and control in. 3, 2, and then last one. Okay, then once we come back in, pause. We're gonna go right toes, balls of our feet onto the foot bar. So we're doing the entire right leg. Think a little lift of the heel, no pronation or supination. So we're evenly weighted throughout all 5 toes. And then we're gonna exhale to push back out. Inhale to bend to come back in. Press, resist. Now, when I'm on my toes, and I feel those quads working a little more here. If you have bands that are a little lighter and you want to double up for this series, if this isn't heavy enough, you can always double up with your bands. Mine, plenty heavy here. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, once we come in, we're gonna pause in. Heels are gonna go into the foot bar. Left heel stay on. Right knee is gonna go up into that tabletop position. Again, think that knee is gonna stay over our hip. So when we push out the band, the strap doesn't pull the knee away from the body. We're gonna exhale to push out with that left heel. Inhale as we bend to come back in. Exhale, push. Inhale back. I'm already feeling my right leg working from the left side. Again, using my quad, my hip flexor so that the knee doesn't get pulled away. Exhaling as we push out. Inhale back, sacrum heavy, pelvis still, push, and then resisting the springs to come back in. We have 2 more, and then last one. Now, once we come back in, pause. The arch of our left foot goes onto the foot bar. Right knee stays in our tabletop position. Again, we'll exhale to push. Inhale, resist. Out. resist in. Hamstrings, glutes, and I'm really feeling my right quad after working my right leg on the foot bar. Push, resist, push, resist. Think every exhale, we're engaging our low abs as well. So that 2 inches underneath my belly button is drawing into my back as I push out. This is the last one on the arch. We're gonna pause in. Left toes, balls of our feet go onto the foot bar. Right knee stays up in that tabletop. Again, we'll exhale to push away. Inhale back. Same thing, I just have a little lift of my left heel, and then we are evenly weighted throughout all 5 toes. So watching, we don't roll all of our weight to our little toes. We don't roll to our big toes, evenly weighted. I'm starting to feel my quads working a lot more here. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, okay. Give those legs a little bit of a stretch, a little break, and then we are going to put our head rests all the way down now if we do have them up. Heels are going back onto the foot bar. Again, parallel with each other, a fist distance away with the knees and the feet, so they're about sit-bone distance out. And then we're starting with bridges. So let's inhale in our neutral. On our exhale, we're gonna flatten our low backs down into the mats, roll our spines up off the carriage, 1 vertebrae at a time. Take an inhale at the top, and then on my exhale, we're gonna start to articulate our spines all the way back down into the mat. So think 1 bone at a time to come down. We're inhaling in our neutrals. Exhale, flatten the low backs down, peel our spines up, use those glutes, hamstrings, quads working too. Think send your tailbone to the backs of the knees when we get up. And then we're rolling our spines all the way back down into the mat. We're gonna do 2 more bridges. Again, exhale, flatten and peel. Think nice long line from the knee to the shoulder. Roll our spines all the way back down into the mat. Again, our knees, our feet are staying that fist distance away the entire time. Now, when we come up on this next one, we're gonna pause at the top. I'm gonna inhale, push my carriage out. As I do so, my hips lower because my knees are lowering. And then when we pull back in, our knees automatically lift, our hips lift as well. So when we push out, the knees lower, the hips lower, we pull back in. It's an inhale to push and an exhale to pull. Squeeze those glutes. Every time we come in, we think we're sending our tailbone to the backs of the knees. We have a nice long line from our knees to our shoulders. Feel those glutes, feel those hamstrings. And again, quads are doing a little work as well. Make sure we're not rolling out to the sides of the feet either. Let's do 3, 2, last one. Then when we come back in, we're gonna pause, roll our spines all the way back down into the mat, and we're gonna come back into our neutral. Now, the right heel stays on the foot bar. Left knee goes up into a tabletop position. Unilateral bridges. We're starting in our neutral spine with an inhale. On our exhale, we're flattening our low backs down. As I peel my spine up, I wanna think evenly weighted throughout the right and the left side of the body. Try to keep that left knee over your hip, and then roll your spines all the way back down. You should feel a little extra work with that resistance band. Exhale, flatten and peel, push into your right heel, roll up into your bridge, take an inhale. And then again, on our exhales, we're articulating our spines all the way back down. We have 2 more. Exhale, flatten and peel, glute, hamstring, take that inhale. Articulate down, think evenly weighted throughout the right and the left side of the body. And then last one, flatten and peel. Now, we pause at the top. We're gonna push the carriage out. Let your hips go back down. Pull the carriage in. Push the hips lower because the knee lowers. Pull in, out, in. Try not to let that left knee wander away from your body. Really feeling your glutes, your hamstrings, and those quads. We have 3, 2, Last one. Roll the spines all the way back down. And then we're gonna set our left heel onto the foot bar. Right knee goes up into that tabletop position. Same thing, 4 unilateral bridges. Inhaling in our neutral spines. Exhaling, we're flattening, pushing into our heel, rolling up one bone at a time, inhaling at the top. And then on my exhale, I'm slowly rolling my spine back down again. Inhale in our neutral. Exhale, flatten and peel. Push into that heel. Use your glutes, use your hamstrings. We want to think evenly weighted throughout the right and the left side as we roll our spines back down. We have 2 more. Press into your heel. Articulate that spine up. Nice long line from the shoulder to the knee. Roll our spines all the way back down. And then last one, we hold at the top. Now this time we're gonna push out, let the hips lower, pull in, make sure those hips go back up. Again, watching that right knee doesn't wander away from the body when we push out and in. My hips lower when we go out, they lift when we come back in. Try to think, again, nice long line from that left knee to your left shoulder when we pull in. 3 more times. Quads, glutes, hamstrings. 2. Last one. We pause in, we roll our spines down, and then we set our foot down, give ourselves a little break. Now, the bands stay around our legs. We're staying with our glutes, heavy glute day. We're sitting to the left side of our reformers. Now, when we sit off to the left, I'm gonna go 1 heavy, 1 light spring on my reformer. So 1 red, 1 yellow, 1 heavy, 1 light. We're gonna stand off to the sides. And then if this is too heavy, you can always take off that heavy spring. If you want this even heavier, you can always step a little further back. If you want it lighter and you want to stay on the same springs, you can step closer to your foot bars. The right foot is going to go back to the shoulder block behind us. My left leg is kind of standing right around center of my carriage. Again, if you want it heavier, you can step it a little further back towards your shoulder blocks, lighter a little closer to your foot bars. And then if you need stability, grab onto your foot bar with your hands. If you're fine, you can stay with your hands off. My left leg is long, right knee is bent, and it's lifted off of the carriage. We're gonna go into some lunges. So I'm gonna bend my left leg, try to press my right leg straight, and then we're gonna stand back up. Now, hands wherever. You can have them at your hips. They can be on the foot bar. They can reach overhead and then back. So we're trying to extend our right leg fully when we bend our left leg. And my chest hinges forward when I push out. Exhale out, inhale back. Now, since I have the band on my leg, it's not going to a full extension. That is fine. We're gonna go for 4, 3, 2. Okay, on this last one, we have to hold back. Now we bend our right knee, we press, bend, press. I'm going halfway in and out, halfway in and out. My chest is staying slightly down. If you need to hold on to something, grab onto your foot bar, halfway in and out, halfway in and out. 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Oh, all right, my legs, my butt's already on fire. We're gonna go into long stretch. So hands are gonna go wide onto our foot bars. Thumb should be with our fingers. Right foot goes to the shoulder block furthest away. I'm gonna stretch my right leg long, hop my left foot up. Shoulders should be over our hands. Legs are long, abs are in, butts are down. We're gonna inhale, push out as far as we feel comfortable, and then exhale, pull our carriage back in. So again, out as far as we feel comfortable, pull back in. Now we're on a little bit of a heavier spring today. So if you feel comfortable going further out than what you're used to, you can go a little further out than what you're used to. Pull in. 3, exhale again, abs are into our backs, 2, last one. Now in this one, we're gonna pull about halfway in, hold halfway with the arms, bend our knees, stretch the legs, bend the knees, stretch the legs. The arms stay in the same spot. We flex at the hips, we stretch, flex and stretch. So it's an inhale in, exhale out. Abs again, into our backs. 4, 3, make sure the bands don't pull the knees together. 2, last one. Okay, come all the way in, step to the opposite side. So right side of our carriages, and then our left foot is back. Again, when the right foot is on the floor, if we step it closer to our foot bars, it is lighter. If we step back towards our straps, towards our shoulder blocks, it is going to be a little heavier. When we stand on our right leg, our left knee should be off the carriage. I'm going to take my hands to my hips. Again, they can be on the foot bar or they can reach overhead. When I bend my left knee to push the carriage out, when I bend my right leg to push the carriage out, my left leg is going to push away. When you extend your right leg to come back in, that left knee is bent. So we bend the right knee, extend the left leg, stand back up to that starting position. Again, our chest goes down every time we go into that lunge. Lighter, can always step closer. Bend and extend and bend. Good. Exhale down, inhale up. 4, 3, try to relax those shoulders. 2, okay, on this last one, we hold out, we bend and extend our left leg. Again, hands on or off the foot bar. I'm keeping my right knee slightly bent the entire time. Bending halfway, pressing as far out as I can with that left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Whew. Okay, we're taking these bands off. For now, we will use them again a little later. We're giving our legs, glutes a break. I am grabbing my lightest circle band. It is going around my shoulder blocks, and we're gonna move into some core work. Now, when the band is here, my box is already set up on the end of my reformer. Box is gonna be at the end. If you have a reformer that is taller, feel free to stack your box on top of something. Otherwise, you can always flip it one way if it does lie nicely, if it's not contoured. So the box is gonna be on the floor, up against your reformer. We're gonna stand in the well, face, whoop. We're gonna take off this red spring. So we're on just one light spring. So one light spring, we're gonna step into the well, face our reformers, and then we're gonna sit down onto our box. Okay, when we sit down, I'm gonna grab underneath my straps. So not the straps that connect to the pegs, the straps that are just holding onto a reformer. I'm gonna pull my carriage in. My heels are going in between my shoulder blocks and in between the band here. Then we're gonna make sure we have enough space behind us, at least a palm's width, so that we can roll back a little bit. And we're gonna tuck our pelvis and roll into a little bit of like a teaser position. Now, when we're here, if you want a little extra stability, you can hold onto these posts. Otherwise, we're gonna reach the arms long, extend the legs slightly out. I'm gonna wrap my heels over the other sides. Okay, we're gonna inhale, extend the legs slightly away, exhale, pull in. Out, I'm not going into fully extended legs, and then pulling my carriage in with my core. Again, we're in a teaser position, so I'm tucked and I'm rolled about 4 or 5 inches back, scooping into my low abs to pull my knees in. I'm gonna feel my quads and my hip flexors, but think draw your abs in to pull. Adjust your heels, adjust that band as needed. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Grab onto your shoulder blocks, give yourselves a little break, a little stretch, and then we're gonna move into some oblique work here. Now, the heels are gonna stay right onto that band. We're gonna extend the legs slightly out again. Arms are gonna reach out. Now, this time, if you were holding onto the post, let go. We're gonna pull the carriage in. As we let the legs go out, we're gonna reach our arms overhead. Exhale, pull the carriage back in. Arms go to your sides. Inhale overhead, exhale back. Again, legs are not going fully out. Adjust that band as needed. Mine's kind of sliding off of my heels. Out, scoop to pull in, out and up with those arms, scoop to pull in. Should be a little more challenging with those arms going overhead. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, grab onto your ropes. Feet can come off those bands. Let those carriages go all the way back. And then we're gonna step back into our wells. Now, we're standing up again, but we're facing our box. When we face our box, I'm gonna stand back closer to my carriage. Hands are gonna go on the posts, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take one of my feet onto my carriage, and then I'm gonna curl my toes. The front of my foot is gonna be attached to that circle band. Hands go onto the box. Now, if wrists are an issue, go down onto your forearms rather than being on your palms. And then we're gonna step our other foot back. So we're in a plank, we're in a pike. We're gonna tuck our pelvis, hike our hips, push out, tuck, pike, push out. Toes are curled under. The band is right at the front of the feet. Again, if the wrists are an issue, go down onto your forearms, scoop into your abs to lift, and then go back out. 2, last one. Okay, carefully step down, stretch back, give your wrists a little roll, give yourselves a little break, and then we're gonna go into some knee pulls, and then we're done with this little version. Again, on your palms, if your wrists are fine, on your forearms, if your wrists hate this. You can take the hands on, step one foot back, curl those toes. If you need to pull your carriage in a little closer, step the other foot back, hold. Now on our exhale, we're gonna bend the knees, pull in, inhale, extend the legs. Exhale, tuck, pull, inhale, extend. Bend, try to pull the knees as close into your chest as you can get them. Scoop into your abs. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, carefully step down, carriages go in, boxes can stay. We're gonna step off to the sides. Band can come off, and then we're gonna go ahead and just put our foot bars all the way down. Now, I'm gonna stay on my yellow, add on 2 heavies with that yellow spring. And then I'm grabbing my heaviest resistance band again. It's gonna go around my legs above my knees. And then once we get it here, we're gonna kneel on our reformers and we'll face our foot bars. Now, when we kneel, hands can either be on the wooden platform, or if it feels better for your wrist, your hands can go onto the foot bar. Does not matter, but foot bar is really gonna help if your wrists are starting to bother you. I'm gonna take mine onto the wooden platform. When we set up, shoulders are gonna be over the hands, hips are gonna be right over the knees, so we're in our 4-point kneeling position. And then my right foot is gonna go on the outside of my shoulder block. We're gonna do a little combo movement. So we're gonna lift our right leg out into a clamshell, bring it down, and then we're gonna kick it back, bend back at a 90, lift out into a clamshell, back to the starting position, extend back. That is our movement. So we clam, we go back, we extend straight back, and then we come back into our starting position, working into glutes, hamstrings, and those abductors. So outsides of the legs, outsides of the glutes. And as I move this right leg, I'm trying to keep my pelvis parallel to the floor. Shoulders don't move, chest doesn't move, abs are into our backs. We're gonna go for 2 more rounds. And then last one. Now when we kick it back, we hold our leg back. We dip the toe straight down, we lift up, we dip down, we lift up. Again, that pelvis stays still, shoulders stay still, abs into our back. We dip, we squeeze our glutes to lift. Down, up, up. 5. Glutes, hamstrings. 3, 2, 1, and back. Feel free to stretch back. And then if you are not holding onto your foot bar, we're gonna scoot forward. So now we are holding onto our foot bars. Now we're gonna stay in that 4-point kneeling position. I'm gonna extend my right leg back behind me again, hold here. Shoulders are gonna be over our hands. Keep that right leg lifted. We're gonna do wide push-ups. We bend our elbows wide, press up, wide, press. Keep that right leg up as high as you can get it. Again, feeling that glute hamstring working wide. They can be big or small push-ups. Abs are into our back. We have 3 more. 2, 1, and relax. Feel free to stretch back into a little child's pose. Give the wrists a little bit of a roll if we need to. And then we're gonna go ahead and go back into our 4-point kneeling. Again, hands can either be on the foot bar or they can be on the wooden platform. If they're on the wooden platform, knees need to scoot a little further back. I'm gonna keep mine on my foot bar for this round. Now, when we're here, shoulders are gonna stay, pelvis is gonna try to stay still. Clamshell first with the left leg. So we open the left knee out to side, we come back, we kick our legs straight behind us, back to the starting position. Lift out, down, extend back. Keep going. Out, down, extend back. Again, abductors when we're moving into the clamshells. Eyes should be looking down to the floor. Again, abs are into our backs. Exhale every time we bring the leg away from the body. Inhale anytime the leg comes back to the body. We have 4, 3, 2, last one. Now we hold the leg back. We dip the toe straight down, straight up, down, and up. Dip, lift. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze those hamstrings. Again, try to keep your hips parallel to the floor. Abs into the backs. Eyes look to the floor, shoulders parallel to the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, now if your hands are not on the foot bar, take them to the foot bar. Shoulders over your hands, your knees are scooted further forward if you're on the wooden platform. We extend the left leg back, hold. Shoulders, hips should be parallel to the floor. Keep that left leg back, point your toes, squeeze your glutes, wide push-ups, wide, press, wide, press. Again, they can be big, they can be small. Keep those left legs lifted, abs into your backs. Down, up. We have 5, 4, and then last one. Ooh, okay. Relax, stretch back. We're keeping the same springs on. We're gonna move into some feet and straps with the bands. Foot bars can go back up to our starting position. Keep your bands around your legs. And then if you do want to make this lighter for your springs, you can always take off that light spring or my yellow spring. I'm keeping mine on. We're gonna lie down. Now, head rest up or down, up to you for feet and straps. We're reaching behind us, grabbing our loops into our hands, and then the long loops go onto our feet. The band is still around your thighs. Okay, so once we get both straps on our feet, legs are going to go up as high as we can hold our neutral spine. So make sure our tailbone's down, sacrum's heavy, arms are gonna be at our sides, legs are zipped together. Most likely they're already zipped together because of the band. We're exhaling to pull our legs down towards our springs, and we're inhaling to hinge to come back up. Exhale to pull down, inhale, hinge, maintaining our neutral spines the entire time. Again, it's an exhale to pull and an inhale to come back up. Bra lines stay heavy. We're gonna do 2 more. And then last one. Now, once we come back up, pause, externally rotate, so our heels are together, toes are turned apart, legs go down to a little lower than a 45-degree angle, hold our neutral spines, make sure that the heels stay together. Frogs, we're gonna bend our knees in, make sure that those knees open out wide enough so those straps can go in between. Exhale to press out. Inhale, bend, exhaling as we press the legs back out. Those knees should open out. We're pulling the band apart every time we bend in. We exhale to push. Three, 2, and then last one. Now when we push our legs out, hold. Stay in this external rotation, so heels are still together, toes are still turned apart. We are going to open our legs out, bring the legs together. Open and close. So working against the band when we open and close. So we can exhale to pull apart. Inhale, the band just kind of brings the legs back together. Exhale apart, inhale back. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, now once we bring our legs back together, pause. Feet are gonna go parallel. We're gonna lower our legs a little further down towards our springs. We're gonna open them as wide as we can get them out to the sides of the circle and back up. We're going down. Open your legs as wide as you can to circle them around and up. Exhale to lower. Inhaling as we open and circle. Let's go for 2 more in this direction. And then last one. Now, once we come up, we're gonna pause, reverse, we open the legs out, press them down and around, zip them together, and then we're hinging at the hips, come back up. Trying to bring the legs together as slowly as you can so the band doesn't just like zip them back together. We're controlling the legs back together. It's an exhale to bring them back and an inhale to go up and out. 4 more. 2, and then last one. Okay, now once we come back in, we're gonna pause, take the straps off of our feet, and then once we get those straps off, we're gonna hang them back up onto the pegs. Now, when we hang our straps back up onto the pegs, the bands are gonna stay here. We're gonna stay on the same springs. Heels are gonna go onto the foot bar into our external rotation. So heels are together, toes are turned apart. Neutral spine to start, head rests are all the way down. We're going to inhale in our neutral spines, exhale, flatten our low backs down, roll our spines up. Try to keep those carriages from getting pushed out. We're on a lighter spring for these bridges. We're gonna exhale, pull our knees out to the sides room. Inhale, let them come back towards each other. Pull to the sides. Inhale back into that starting position. The idea is that with this light spring, we're not pushing the carriages out. We're keeping them pulled in. We open the knees out. We close, open, close. Again, back into those abductors for 4, 3, 2. Okay, on this last one, we hold out and we only pulse out, out, out. Little pulses of the legs out. Keep that tuck of the pelvis. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and roll down. Okay, now we're staying in our external rotation. We're gonna slide our feet a foot, maybe a foot and a half apart. So we're in a wider stance, not as wide as our second position. Back into our neutral spines. Again, when we roll our spines up into our bridge, try to keep your carriages all the way home. Hold here, open the knees, close, open, close. Back into that abduction. So outsides of the legs, outsides of the glutes, just pull apart, release, pull apart, release. Try to keep those carriages still. 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, hold out, only pulse out, out, out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll down and then relax. Okay, the bands are coming off of our legs. We are going to set them to the sides. We're sitting to the left side of our reformers, and then we are just gonna go on one red or one heavy spring. When we get onto that one heavy, we're gonna stand on the floor, right foot back, just like when we were lunging. Left foot is further forward. Mine is right by my foot bar. Right knee is down this time. We're gonna push the carriage out with our right knee, push out with our left, and then we're holding whatever stretch feels best in our bodies today. You can take your hands onto the frame of the carriage. You can drop down onto your forearms if that feels good. All right, then bring your carriage in, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna take our left foot back, right foot on the floor. We're gonna press back with the left, press back with the right. And again, we're holding whatever stretch feels best in our bodies. So you can always drop down onto your forearms, hold onto the frame. You can move through this by bending and extending. It is up to you. Stretching out the front of the left leg, back of the right. Okay, then our carriages come all the way back in. We're gonna sit down. One more stretch. We are gonna go left ankle to our right knee, and then you can either push this knee down, or you can take your elbow on and just fold over your leg to give the outside of your left glute into your piriformis a nice big stretch. I like to push my elbow down into my knee. Okay, then we're gonna switch right ankle, left knee, and you can either stay sitting up tall depending on how tight your piriformis is. You can press your right knee down, or you can fold over your leg. I like to fold over, take my elbow to my knee and push it down. Again, outside of your right glute into that piriformis. All right, we can stack our spines, untangle your legs. You are all finished with that lower body workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can leave me those super thanks. Thank you so much for all the support. I so appreciate it.